When I first started here, there's quite a lot of students, they come up and we're working with them on their holiday. We teach them how to cut the lawn, because when we had a big glass house and we create our own plants, a lot of cutting and all the things like that.
When I grew up as a boy, everyone did a bit of gardening. But today that's not the case. People are living in apartments, high-rises, they don't get to do that as much. One of the best things about being a gardener is there's hope. Because when you plant something, there's the hope that it will grow into something. So it creates hope in people.
We start at daybreak in the mornings at 6:30. When the sun comes up, when it's quiet, and we start working before the people arrive, that it's ready when the people come in. And we always try to make beautiful little spaces with plants and flowers where you can just sit quiet for a moment. We would like to get the bees back, the bumblebees, the butterflies, the insects. We like to get the birds back.
We're really fortunate here at the University of Auckland because while we're a city centre campus and we have campuses that are really quite urbanised, we have amazing spaces. As I walk through the gardens just around the clock tower, there's so many different things to see, so many beautiful colours at any time of year.
The plants we've got are quite unique in many cases. They're not all over the country, they're quite special, so the research that they do and the teaching that can be done here is just as important as the buildings, really.
The university gardens are a real integral part of the experience for students and staff here at the University of Auckland.
The students actually often vote with their feet, so they want to be outside meeting, they love sitting in the gardens and meeting their friends.
If you take away the gardens and it's just concrete and hard spaces and very hot, gardens started originally because of Old Government House. And Old Government House was the first parliament.
Most of the tree here is, I think they're close to 200 years old. Some of them, they're still growing and some of them, it's the same looking.
They've been here such a long time, some of the trees. Queen Elizabeth planted some trees here, Governor Grey.
Where we are now is the conservation part of the campus. It's the grounds around Old Government House and the historic buildings, which is the conservation area. And these grounds were originally planted out in the 19th century, in the 1800s. They've been looked after by generations of gardeners and ground staff since then.
The gardens at the university are more than just gardens. They are also a really important international botanical collection. And I know that the team of gardeners and groundspeople here really do understand that importance. And when they're planning the gardens, they do take all of that into account and work quite closely with our academic staff and researchers in this area.
The gardens here are tremendously helpful, and what people may not consider normally is we're right in the middle of the city amongst tall buildings, and there are a lot of flowers and trees in the garden which are pollinated and used by bees for their nectar source. That happens all year round at different times when they're flowering. The gardens are very important for not only the bees but research as well. We're using the bees for a number of different science projects.
So on Gallipoli, the whole hillside was full of these Turkish pines. And at the end of the battle, there was only one left. And then 2 Australian soldiers took 2 cones with them at the end of the battle. They cloned these ones from the original ones in Australia, and they gave us this one. So this is a descendant from the last pine at Gallipoli.
I feel very privileged to have my name on the plaque there, and it is a great symbol for us in New Zealand to be part of that commemoration.
My kind of philosophy as a gardener is that, or having been a gardener a long time, is that if a tree's lived for 80, 100 years, it's got a right to stay there. Unless it's absolutely a health and safety issue, can't be there. Trees that are 100 years old are getting less and less, and when we lose one of those trees, you can't replace it overnight.
We get a sense of things that are bigger than us. It takes us actually out into the world and to the expansiveness of the world, reminding us that we're quite small, really.
There's a real connection, being a heritage to custodians that came way before us. So I look at the university as being part of being a gardener and a legacy of gardeners that were here before the university was even here.
When walking through the gardens, a person should have the sense that the gardens reflect simplicity, implicity, modesty, naturalness and everydayness, and imperfection, as well as silence and balance. This results in a garden which is subtle and has unobtrusive beauty. And engaging with the gardens is thus effortless and pleasurable. The garden should therefore be in harmony with the buildings and hardscapes, whilst promoting an atmosphere of tranquility and unity that uplifts staff and student spirits, that connect them with plants and the role of plants play in their lives.